Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku and I'm here to do something a little bit different today. This time I'm going to be bringing awareness to asexuality and everything about it. I've seen just about every single kind of asexuality video on YouTube. There really aren't that many. You can watch them all like within a night. And it makes sense because, you know, asexuals make up 1% of the population. And, you know, when I bring up to people that I'm asexual, most people say that they don't know what it is, or maybe they have an idea what it is, maybe they have a misunderstanding of what asexuality is. That is all fine and dandy. I'm here to bring awareness to you in asexuality for dummies. I'm gonna be talking about every single type of asexual because there are many different kinds of asexuals, and not just the asexual spectrum, but also personality wise. So I'm going to say every little bit of it and dumb it down for everyone, whether you're questioning if you are asexual or if you just want to understand what asexuality is. Sexual orientation wise, the exact definition of asexual is a person who does not experience sexual attraction. Now, a lot of people are confused and don't really understand that definition, so I'm gonna again dumb it down for you guys. And to be frank with you, it means asexuals don't get horny for either girls or guys. This does not mean asexuals have never had sex or have never felt horny before. You see, like I said, they don't get horny for guys or girls, but sometimes a sexual urge does appear. It depends on the asexual. So a sexual urge can appear, and what do they do with it? Again, to be frank, they masturbate it off. Or they just ignore it. Some people do that as well. A common misconception is that asexuality is the lack of a sex drive, and that is not true. Some asexuals don't have a sex drive or have an extremely low one, like in my case, mine is extremely low, but some asexuals have a completely normal sex drive or have a relatively high sex drive. But that doesn't mean they want to have sex with a guy or a girl. They just don't feel that sort of attraction. So like I said, they either just ignore the feeling when it arises or they masturbate it off. Just because someone is asexual does not mean that they are against romance or it means that they don't want to fall in love. There is a difference between sexual orientation and romantic orientation. Like for myself, even though I am asexual, I would like to fall in love one day. I identify as asexual demi-heteroromantic. And I'll get to that whole side of things in another video about, you know, demi-heteroromanticism. But when it comes to romantic orientation, someone can be asexual and like guys, someone can be asexual like girls, someone can be asexual and like both guys and girls, someone can be asexual and not like anyone. That proper definition would be an asexual, aromantic. There are three categories, I guess you can call it, under the asexual spectrum. There is asexual, gray sexual, and demisexual. Gray sexual, this is really up to the person. A person can classify themselves as gray sexual if they have an extremely low sex drive or if they do experience, sexual desires from time to time, at a normal rate like any other person. But again, they don't want to have sex with a guy or a girl, so like I said earlier, they masturbate it off or just ignore it and stuff. So someone would call themselves gray sexual if they wanted to. Me personally, I guess I could classify myself as gray sexual, but I've only felt, sexual desires only once in my life, so I just prefer to classify myself as asexual. As for demisexuals, they only experience sexual attraction after a strong emotional bond with someone. So maybe someone that they've been friends with for a really, really long time. This could have developed over the course of a year, 4 years, 8 years. Maybe they were childhood friends, but the demisexual can only experience, sexual attraction. They'll only get horny for someone that they truly love, basically. Asexuals do experience crushes. Crushes, the exact definition is a brief infatuation with someone. So think of like the celebrity crush you had when you were a child, like Zac Efron or something like that. Like, I'll admit I have had plenty of crushes in the past with like my classmates and stuff when I was in grade school, middle school, and high school especially. And I also have celebrity crushes like Chris Hemsworth. But that doesn't mean I want to go have sex with him. Some people believe, how do you know you're asexual if you've never had sex? We know because we've never experienced a sexual attraction to some sort of celebrity that you see on TV or some good-looking person walking down the street. Oh my God. Okay, so I turned off the camera once they were done taking the shower, and I decided to change my shirt because I was feeling sweaty in the other one. But anyway, to explain more from what I was talking about before, you see, a lot of heterosexuals and, you know, homosexuals, bisexuals, they will still get turned on by someone they see on TV, in a magazine, read up in a book and stuff. Heck, one of your favorite anime characters. I mean, yeah, I'll always admit if someone is good looking. I'll even go far as say, whoa, that man's really hot. Whoa, that person's really sexy. OMG, that person has a nice butt. It doesn't mean I want to fuck them. When an asexual is in a relationship, if the asexual wants to be in a relationship, because remember, if a person is asexual, aromantic, then they do not want to be in relationships at all. They just are okay with, you know, friendships, but not romantic relationships. If an asexual is dating someone, how far will they go? Well, obviously, sex is out of the question unless if you are demisexual, it is a possibility. Some asexuals are okay with touching, with, you know, like hand holding, cuddling, hugging. Some aren't. Some are okay with kissing, some are not. Just remember, every asexual is different. Since there aren't that many asexuals in the world, again, we only make up 1% of the population, there are numerous of asexuals that will go out with a sexual person, that person being heterosexual, homosexual, or bisexual, pansexual. Some of them will have sex with the person that they love just because they care for them and they know that they have a sexual desire, so maybe the asexual is willing to give in just for them. They most likely didn't enjoy the sex, or some asexuals are just like, meh. Like, it was theirs. Okay. That's pretty much all I have for this Asexuality for Dummies video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I will not be insulted. I am happy to bring awareness to asexuality, and I will be making 2 other asexuality videos, one being a Q&A that I will announce later on sometime in the future, so please follow me on Instagram and Twitter for when I make that announcement. But the next asexuality video I want to make is my personal asexuality story of how I'm asexual, demi-hetero romantic. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.